Well, I'm Jane Gray Buchanan, and I grew up in Waverly, and Ward Belmont and Ward Seminary were both, Belmont University were all schools that members of my family had attended, and it was just sort of a convenient thing in a way, and because I knew I wanted to go to a larger four-year school later. And I did transfer to Vanderbilt after I finished my 2 years of college at Ward Belmont. And I had actually planned to just go to Ward Belmont 1 year, but I liked it so much I stayed for two. And I think that girls, frankly, and I'm not being old-fashioned, I promise you, but I really think that girls miss out on a meaningful, mature experience of maturation by missing the experience of single sex. I matured a lot during that period in a way that I don't think I would have if I had been in a large school that was co-ed. But I'm still in touch with some of my Ward Belmont friends, Susan Campbell Harris in Little Rock, Lone Oak, Arkansas, sends her love and best wishes to everybody who's here. She thought about driving, but finally decided maybe it wasn't such a good idea, since all of her children would be horrified. And then I have a friend in Paris, Kentucky that I'm in touch with still, Ward Belmont days, and one in the Johnson City, Tennessee area, and I talk to them regularly on the phone. And they also send their regrets that they're not here. My favorite experience, oh my gosh, there was so many. This really wasn't my favorite experience, but I didn't know what I wanted to major in when I came here. I thought about art, and I took art classes, decided it was not for me. I would never make it as an artist. But I adored my chemistry teacher, and my high school experience with chemistry was very negative. And I was astonished that I really liked chemistry, and I decided to major in chemistry because of my experience here. And when I transferred to Vanderbilt, that's what I did. And I went to work in Oak Ridge as a chemist when I finished school, and ended up marrying a classmate from Vanderbilt whom I had not met there, but he was in chemical engineering, who hired in about the same time that I did. But there were lots of things that we did that were, I have a picture, in fact I think I gave it to the archives here, of four of us dressing up in bathing suits and fur coats, short fur coats and high heels in January, and we got our picture taken, and I think it was in the annual, I don't remember, but anyway, there were things like that we did to entertain ourselves that were foolish, silly, but they were fun. And I had some excellent teachers when I was here, and I have sung all my life, although I was never a professional, never a soloist. But being able to sing in the a cappella choir here under Sidney Dalton was also one of my favorite experiences. We got to, anybody who was connected with the music program could usher for the Nashville Symphony. And so I did that on a regular basis. And there were lots of opportunities that were given to the students that were special and enjoyable and educational. Well, I think I've gone into how it prepared me for the future somewhat. I did intend to transfer to Oberlin, and my transfer to Vanderbilt sort of sealed my future. If I had gone to Oberlin like my sister, I probably would have married a Yankee, which would not have been a terrible thing. And on the other hand, Tinty's from Canada. That's north of being a Yankee. but it prepared me in many ways. It certainly educationally, and also I think maybe socially, because I became more confident of my leadership ability, and I had some experience in high school, but I think in a completely different setting among people who were really talented and highly motivated, because my classmates literally came from all over the country. There was always a large group from Ohio and one from Texas. One of my classmates was the daughter of the governor of Texas, and there were always large contingents from out of state. And in fact, one of my friends at Richland Place, where I live now, Shar Hancock, she graduated 3 or 4 years before I did. But her mother, she was from Cleveland, Ohio, I believe, northern Ohio. And her mother graduated from Ward Belmont. So in some families, it was a family tradition. And that's sort of the way it was in my family. Well, I'd just like to add that I'm so pleased with what's happened to Belmont. There was a period of struggle, but it has certainly turned around and is thriving and contributing to the community, not only to the community, but on a national basis. I think and I must add that my feeling, their wonderful music program now, the basis of it was the Ward Belmont Conservatory. My father studied voice here. He had a beautiful tenor voice under DeLuca, Giuseppe DeLuca, I think it was his name. He was brought in to head up the Ward Belmont Conservatory during the early 30s, I think, but he was a famous Italian singer. And they had an outstanding music program when the school was sold, and that was maintained, thankfully, through the years, and it served the basis of and Lawrence Goodman, who was known as one of the best piano teachers in town, he was head of the conservatory for a while. My sister, who studied at Oberlin Conservatory, even though we lived at Waverly, my father brought her to Nashville for years to study with Lawrence Goodman. And that the school has a good foundation, but it's done such wonderful things in recent years, and we're very pleased about that. And also, I must add about the Ward Belmont Scholarship, that is one way that we're leaving our name with the university. It was set up by some of my classmates and friends, and has grown enough that now I think maybe there might even be 2 scholarship students who are funded by it. Okie doke, well, I think that's enough for me.